All right, this video I'm going to go over the answer to how to do the shipping validation. So again, we want to make sure they enter something between 0 and 500, including those two values, right? So we're going to prompt them, and honestly, I would change this prompt to again try to make it as easy as possible. I might add a little thing here like the value should be between 0 and 500. Right? The easier you can make it for your user, the better, right? So this might avoid some of the errors right away by just putting an extra prompt in there telling them what they should be entering. Okay, and so it's the solution code here. Oh, and I added even something here too I hadn't even thought about till right now. Is you might also want to say like only the number, not the money, right? Because I did a scan of using next double. And so if they enter a money symbol, it will mess up the next double, right? So I can actually show you that here. If I run it quick and try and if they forget that, don't listen, right? It's going to give me some crazy error because it's expecting a double and doubles can't have little money signs in front of them. So anyways, make it as easy as you can, and then basically we say if it's below 0, say enter a positive value. If it is above 500, say please enter a value below 500. Otherwise, if it doesn't fall into one of these two buckets, then we know it must have been greater than or equal to 0, and it must have been less than or equal to 500, right? Otherwise, it would have fell into one of these conditions, right? There's obviously probably different ways to set it up, but that's just the way I set it up. So I'm going to run it here, just make sure that worked okay. Try a negative number. That looks okay, right? And then some really big number. You can see that that's working, right? And we're saying it should be below 500 when they enter something really big. All right, for those of you who want to see the loop, because I think the loop is what makes this really cool. Basically, I'm going to run this code again and again. Right? I don't actually need to make the scanner. I only need to do that once because I can just keep scanning each time they enter a double. All right, but basically, I'm just going to do a while loop. Okay, so basically, while the cost is no good. So while the cost is less than 0 or the cost is greater than 500, then it's no good. Right? Then we want to keep looping. So I'm going to take and do open parenthesis thing, curly brace, tab everything over, and then I can put all of it inside of there. And if you don't know this, I just highlighted this and then just hit tab and that moves it over. Shift tab will move it over the other way. So that's how I tabbed it in. Okay, at any rate, that's saying while it's a bad cost, we're going to keep looping and ask them to enter the right cost. All right, and then the only problem is complaining that cost doesn't exist, right? So I'm just going to declare cost up here, and I'm going to set it to be something that'll make it enter the loop. So if it's -1, it'll say while cost is less than 0, which it is, so it'll run the code then. All right, and then I'm just going to overwrite it on my scanner line. It'll just keep overwriting cost until they enter a good one. Right, so now let's watch this in action. Okay, so it'll just keep running again and again. If they enter a negative, it'll say, no, that's good, no good. Please enter a positive value, and then I'll ask them to enter a good cost again. So now let's try a really big one. Nope, that's too big, right? And it'll keep going until they finally enter a good one and say thank you. So again, that's getting into chapter 4, but it's kind of nifty extension of conditionals, right? Because this is a condition, right? And we're saying while this condition is not met, basically, well, while it's met, I guess, while it's a bad value, we want to keep doing the code, right? That's really what this is saying. While we're less than 0 or greater than 500, keep asking them to do it. Obviously, you didn't have to do the loop here, but I just thought I'd throw it in there just in case you wanted to see it. All you really needed was the conditional part, what I had before the loop. All right, so again, make sure you've turned in your code, right? Just put it in your Google Drive folder, and then you should be good to go. All right, thanks for watching.